Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Zeri supplementary guide, and today we're going to be talking about the quote-unquote like on-hit Zeri. I call it on-hit, but it's not really on-hit because you don't really have like items like Bork or Wits End. You actually do have like Terminus and Runan, so it's sort of on-hit but not really at the same time. So taking a look, you can see actually the top Zeri is actually using a variation of this build right now. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So first up, we're gonna go for Gluttonous Griefs as usual for the AD and the Omnivamp, and then we're gonna go into first item Terminus. So getting yourself an early Terminus is gonna help you against tanky teams, and generally you only really build this build into teams that have a very solid frontline that are very tanky. So this gives you, of course, AD attack speed, magic damage, as well as of course the stacking resistances and the stacking penetration, all just very helpful, very useful. Then we go into Runans. Now Runans of course is a core item on Zeri, most of the time her second item. This allows you to attack 3 people at the same time. Aside from that, of course, gives you other things like attack speed, AD, and physical damage on hit. But of course the main reason for this is being able to attack multiple people at the same time. And this generally means that when you're hitting frontline, you can hit backline at the same time. You will of course see that later on in the gameplay. And that's why this is a very important core item for Zeri. So then your next item is actually going to be Riftmaker. Now Riftmaker is just a very solid Zeri item. She does have like decent AP scalings, but you're not really getting it for the AP. The health and ability haste is useful, but of course you're mainly getting it for the 2 passives. The 11% Omnivamp of course helps you with your sustain, and in those long fights where you DPS a lot, the Omnivamp is going to come in real handy. And then you have the Void Corruption passive as well, which helps you deal true damage after 3 seconds in combat. So same deal, you're gonna get a lot of value from this in long fights. And then honestly by this point, generally when you're against a tanky team, what this generally means is that you are going to be facing the front line majority of the time, and this means that items like Amaranth Twin Guard is going to actually come in very handy. And the reason for that is obviously some tanks, like let's say for example you have a frontline Mundo, right? So Mundo is a very tanky guy, and he does like a decent amount of damage, so maybe he can actually just run you down, and that's not going to be very good, right? So what you can do to kind of solve the issue is to get Amaranth Twin Guard. This helps you against both tanks and squishies. So generally you want to kind of go in combat, stack this up against a tank, and then you kind of have it for the rest of the fight, and it's going to be a lot harder to kill you. Of course, double resistances, of course, getting the extra tenacity and extra resistances as well. The size is not something you really want, but it's kind of what you have to get if you have this item. And the last item is very flexible. Generally, I like to go for something defensive, like Maw. Maw is really the best item here, but you don't want to go this if you're against like no or little magic damage. You can go for other items like GA, Starex, items like those. Pretty much whatever you want to go for in the last item slot. And then we have the Runes. So Runes Conquer is going to be your best option. You can stack Conquer up really quickly with your abilities and your auto attacks, and it will give you more healing and more damage. No real point for Lethal Tempo in my opinion, because you already have both Terminus and Runan's Hurricane, which is already going to put you to the attack speed cap of Zeri, and any excess attack speed is going to get converted into AD, and the conversion is kind of shit, so you don't really want to go for that. So next up, you're going to go for Brutal, and Brutal is going to give you the on-hit damage, of course, when you auto-attack. Pretty logical there. Giant Slayer, because you're only going to really build this build against a tanky team, so Giant Slayer is just logical. And try to go for Bloodline instead of Alacrity, and the main reason for that is, as I said, any excess attack speed is going to get converted into AD. And while AD is somewhat useful, or it is useful I guess, I don't like the conversion, because the conversion is kind of horrible, so what I prefer going for is just more Omnivamp instead of getting the AD conversion. But some people do like the AD conversion, like this guy over here who has gone for Alacrity, so it's kind of up to you. And of course, we want to go for Bone Plating just for the defensive capabilities. And for the spells, my favorite is to go for Flash and Ghost. Right, so Ghost is generally my favorite combo on Zeri. However, in some matches where you have to go for Cleanse, like the match that I'm in later, you just gotta go for Cleanse, right? So generally for me it's between Cleanse and Ghost. I rarely go for Exhaust or Barrier on Zeri because I think Ghost is just so much more useful in those mid and late game fights. But with all that said, now let's move on to talking about our gameplay. Alright, so now let's take a look at our gameplay itself. So of course, pretty much with this Zeri build, you could go for this as a default every game, but I personally think that it's just better to go for the crit build as a default build. And the reason for that is, of course, the crit build scales a lot better, and you deal generally a lot more damage against both squishies and tanks. So this build is sort of specially built to deal with tanks in particular. So you, as I said, you only really want to go for this build if there are multiple frontline on the enemy team. So in this case, like, it's gonna be nigh on impossible to actually attack Lissandra or Tristana unless they choose to jump in willingly with Malphite and Aatrox in the front, or even Master Yi diving us in the backline, right? So with this build, if enemy team plays optimally, it's gonna be very difficult to hit Tristana and Lissandra, although of course that's a big if. So I chose to go for the on-hit, quote-unquote on-hit build because I think it's going to be more consistent in this match. So I basically feel that in matches where there are tanks, the on-hit build is just a little bit more consistent simply due to the fact that you are more capable of shredding tanks compared to the normal crit build. Although there is a point of the game where the normal crit build does kind of get better than the on-hit build, and that's like at like 3-4 items, because when you get to like 3-4 items, it's kind of when you build your moral reminder, and that's basically the point of the game where the crit build is probably just better because you get the armor penetration, you get the crit, and you know, all that good stuff, right? But the on-hit build is just really decent. It's just better at the earlier stages of the game. Like when you have only Terminus, when you have Terminus and Runas, it's just better than the crit build. But maybe when you get to like third item, it's kind of where the crit build starts to shine a little bit more. So it is of course a little bit of a trade-off as to, you know, what you want to go for. So here we're against Tristana Malphite in the bot lane, and we have a Seraphine with us. Now Seraphine is a pretty good support for Zeri, as in it's not great, but it's just okay, because you do get the shielding to kind of give you movement speed, and you also of course get a little bit of CC just to help kind of set you up. Now here Master Yi is coming in, so I'm running straight into the bush here to lose vision, and Master Yi queues the minions instead of myself, so I managed to escape the gang safely. And also because Master Yi wasted his Q on minions, Seraphine also escapes the gang. And now the enemy bot lane actually backs with Master Yi going for the skull. So here, because we have him back, we can actually back up our Mundo at the skull, and we actually pick up or not we, but my team picks up the kill onto Master Yi basically for free, as well as the skull crab. So pretty well played by the Mundo to engage on the Yi and keep him interested, and myself and Seraphine are able to rotate and back him up and go for a 3v1 kill. I mean, Seraphine I honestly wasn't even there, right? She didn't even get an assist. So it's really more like a 2v1 kill, but Seraphine was waiting in the wings if you know, if needed. So now we're back in the lane, and we have a slow push going on here, and the minions are kind of stacking up, but we're now in a 1v2 because our support has based, and I think that it's pretty obvious to the enemy team that that's the case, so I can't really go near the wave because they could just, well, they can't really hard engage on me because Malphite doesn't yet have ult, but you know, I could definitely be in a little bit of trouble if I play overly aggressive, which is kind of why I'm you know, playing safe. Zeri is also a soft counter to Malphite because with Malphite, he always has that shield, and you can basically drain his shield using your passive, and that's just, you know, this is great, right? So in this match, I also chose to take cleanse because Malphite ult and Lissandra ult is things you really need to cleanse. Maybe to some extent Aatrox knockups as well if you really need to, but Malphite ult and Lissandra ult are two huge ultimates that you really need to you know, remove the CC of. Of course, QSS works against Lissandra, so here is Lissandra. She's not even going for me because obviously I'm at a relatively safe position, and there is the Malphite ulti. I popped the cleanse as I mentioned, and I'm under tower. I think they could have actually killed me if they coordinated a dive, like Malphite starts tanking and Lissandra and Tristana start DPSing. But of course, it's solo queue. It's really hard to coordinate a dive. So yeah. So here, Tristana tries to go on me, and honestly there I messed up. I was trying to jump over the wall, but I actually jumped into the wall instead, and I actually survived on a sliver of HP, so kind of a mechanical misplay there. Here Seraphine's coming back, so I'm stopping Tristana's base, and Tristana has to now lose a lot of tempo. Now I don't necessarily want to actually chase her, because look at the health differential between the two of us, but now she is not able to reset and not able to spend her gold from the kill that she got, I guess. So here we are going to take our own base, and we do have priority, so we are actually going to get back to lane faster than her. And you can see she's 400 gold up on us, but as of now she has yet to spend her gold. Now she's going for the base. So now there could be an extra item on the side of Tristana. She actually goes from Vamp Scepter into Dagger, obviously going for Bloodthirster first item. So I actually think my BF sword is actually better. Despite the fact she got a kill, I have the better build path because of Terminus. Of course, Terminus, one of the reasons why it's so good as the first item is because its build path is kind of OP as well. So here we're getting a lot of free damage onto the Malphite, and then here, unfortunately, the Seraphine dies, but here we're able to trade kill onto the Malphite. Now, honestly, I focused Malphite because I thought that I would get a free kill onto Tristana, but Tristana had both barrier and jump, so no way I'm killing her. So she is able to barrier and hop to safety, and yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get her. I still have both my summoner spells though, so that is gonna come in handy in the future fight. So here I'm not just getting a lot of free platings. I got 2 free platings already, and here I was debating whether to back or to keep going, and here I decided to keep going because my Mundo is actually now going for the opposite side objective, and I'm able to squeeze out a 3rd plate before I actually base. But the issue is that I'm now really close to getting Terminus. I think I'm like less than 150 gold from getting Terminus, so instead what I do is I choose to take the fruit. I'm warding and checking if they're doing dragon. Turns out they are not actually doing dragon because Master Yi is in mid lane and Tristana is kind of doing the dragon by herself. So here Tristana Madman hops in onto Seraphine, gets rooted, and now I'm going onto her. Of course I know she has jump, so I'm not overcommitting onto her. Malphite now has to walk through me. Honestly, I don't do very much damage to him yet, but I am able to free stack my Conqueror. He does have redemption for his item, which I think is kind of horrible as a first item. Like, he's playing into a full AD team, except Seraphine, but Seraphine's building support. And this is where Malphite is OP. So I don't know why Malphite is not just building Iceborne Gauntlet, Frozen Heart, and all of the armor items. Like, this is such an OP game for Malphite, to be honest. Like, Malphite is kind of insane here, which is kind of why I'm going for this this kind of tank shredder kind of build on Zeri. And also, of course, as you guys know, at some point, we are going to have an AFK. That point is not yet reached in the game. The game is still really even. Pretty much all square. And here, Tristana and Malphite kind of troll. They walk all the way in. And I'm now just DPSing Tristana. I hop over the wall to cut off her escape. She decides to jump forward, and I flash forward to try to chase her. We eventually catch up to her. Mundo gets the kill, and now we're running down Malphite. I'm able to get the kill on that one. And yeah, I don't know why they walked all the way under tower, so deep under tower. Are they trying to deny the fruit or what's going on? But that was insane overextending by them. So here I know Master Yi's in the area, there he is, so I am a little bit cautious, but I'm not overly scared of him because if he Qs me, he's going to kill all the minions as well, so I don't think I'm in a lot of trouble or anything like that. So here, Mundo is also kind of hovering, no longer though. So here, again, I have to proceed with a little bit of caution because Master Yi could be here, but the tower is now really squishy and we can get the first tower, which we do. That's a huge gold injection for myself. You can see now I have 7k gold, which is the most gold in the game by quite a fair margin, and we are 2-0-2, so not insane amounts of kills, but not like nothing either. Tristana has hit her first item, the Bloodthirster, but we are almost to our second item already, so we're just finding the last bit of gold for Runans. Of course, we need about 800 more gold. Now here Tristana overextends. I slow her down, chase her, Seraphine gets the root. She out Seraphine away, and I cannot believe I didn't get the kill here. If I had flashed, I would have flashed there and finished the kill, but I didn't. So Tristana actually escapes on 1 HP for like the second time this game, I believe. Now here Lissandra, I'm not sure what she's doing. We're going to be able to get the tower pretty much for free. And now Zed is coming back, and he's actually going top. So we're actually going to stay mid because Zed has gone top. Pretty much swapping lanes with the Zed right now. Pretty standard kind of macro move. Thankfully Zed knows what's up. Wouldn't have minded going back though. So here, Lissandra tries to go on me. I have cleanse, so I'm gonna cleanse. She ults me while I'm in the cleanse, and here I'm just running her down. Somehow she has stasis at this point in the game, and I mistime the stasis, and I'm not able to pick up the kill on her. Master Yi tries to kill me, but Mundo comes to my rescue, and with the help of the fruit as well as my team, we are able to kill the Master Yi before he can do so to me, and we are able to get another assist. But yeah, really insane how Lissandra actually just tried to go on me and one-shot me there. I'm really not sure what she was thinking. I mean, I have cleanse, so you're not going to be able to CC me, and I nearly killed her, except for the fact that she had stasis, which is, I want to say it's a waste of gold at this point in the game, because you could have invested into more damage instead, but I can't really say it's a waste of gold if it just saved her life against me, right? So, I guess it's a semi-waste of gold. Anyways, here we're going to just go back top and collect the waves. In the meanwhile, my team is getting into a huge fight in the bottom lane. It's a really bad fight because myself and Zed are not there. Now granted, Seraphine is not, not Seraphine, Tristana's not there either, but if you notice, it's basically Master Yi and the tanks, which are, of course, I believe it's Malphite, and I believe it's Aatrox there, yeah, it's Malphite and Aatrox, and Master Yi, the three, like, melee champions against, you know, Mundo, Zed, and, not Mundo, Seraphine, Mundo, and Jax, right? So I don't think that we really win that one, so Yeah, unfortunately, like champions like Master Yi and Aatrox can just do too much work in very close proximity to champions like Mundo and Jax, and unless our team is more fed than them, there's not a lot we can really do about it. So, unfortunately, that is the case. Now, I think this, if I'm not wrong, this is the point where, yeah, there we go. So at this point, Zed kind of loses his mind over our whole team just inting, and he just goes AFK straight up from this point onward. And if you guys notice, if you take a look at the scoreboard, at this point in the game, essentially the game is completely even. It's 38k goal on both sides. And here I'm trying to do the red buff, and I'm pinging Mundo to get the red buff because I'm thinking we can, of course, get the red buff share. It's like 11 minutes into the game, but the guy has not been farming his red buff like the entire game because he doesn't even have a red buff share. Like the next time red buff spawns, it's going to be the team-wide buff share. So this guy has not farmed red buff in the last like 5 minutes or something, which is insane. So I don't get the red buff, and Lissandra comes in. Unfortunately, I ult the Lissandra while she's in her ult, so I don't actually get my ult. So here's a very awkward situation where I don't really have the damage to DPS. I have to actually cleanse out, and I nearly die. And now I have to kind of run away. Not much I can do. By the way, Seraphine has no boots for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'm able to escape with a sliver of HP, making it back to the base and getting my components for my Riftmaker. And now I'm heading back out onto the map. Jax has been split pushing this entire time. He's actually gotten the tier 2 tower solo, and that's given him a ton of gold. And he's actually holding on for a long time. He almost kills Malphite, almost kills Lissandra, and basically requires the whole enemy team to deal with him. Now, I'm not sure how, because at this point he only has one item. He just bought his Riftmaker after the death, but he had only Triforce, and he needed like 4 people to stop Jax from pushing, which is great, right? Like, that's insane. So here, this allows us some free time to kind of farm it up at the top lane. I was trying to help my Mundo here, but I realized that I'm gonna walk into a multiple enemy. So now I'm realizing I gotta run. Now I'm actually the one caught out. I don't believe they have vision of me, so I'm actually just hugging this side to maximize distance between myself and them. I don't think they even know I'm here, but just to be safe, I'm just getting a safe position. And here, with nothing much to really farm, I'm just gonna go ahead and farm the wolves here, and I'm very, very close to getting my item. Unfortunately, Mundo is here to farm the raptors. Here, Lissandra goes in onto Jax, ults herself, finds herself caught up, basically out of position. Master Yi is coming for the backline. I'm running away. Master Yi gets chain CC, beautiful. Malphite out onto 3 people, but no one follows up at all. And at this point, we kill the Lissandra, and now I'm just free firing onto the rest of them. We kill Malphite, who's the sacrificial lamb, and Aatrox and Tristana are able to escape, at least for now. Here we ward inside. Aatrox turns out to be in there. We're trying to chase him down. Tristana puts the bomb on me. He's going to do quite a bit of damage here, and it does. And thankfully, I do have enough damage to kill Aatrox before the bomb as well as Aatrox damage kills me. And with that, almost aced, with only Tristana left alive, we're going to go for the Baron. Now, obviously, the enemy team knows we're doing the Baron because they did have that ward just destroyed. It's really obvious we're doing Baron, remembering to sidestep the Polymorph. So I do expect the entire enemy team to be running here. So my expectation is we get Baron and we run away. Right? We don't want to be here to fight them when they arrive. There we go, we secure the Baron. Lissandra runs in and pops the ulti. I'm gonna reposition, and here we honestly are kind of caught in the fight. I could ditch my team here, but I think that here we can actually turn the fight, which we do, flashing over the wall just for extra distance. And here we were just evaporating the enemy team, and honestly I think the enemy team kind of lost the game here. Like, they basically 4 men died, gave us a Baron, and then we got Baron and they all died again. Jax picks up a triple kill, and from, like, he was like 1-6 by the way, he's now 4-6 with 11k gold. And that's only 1k gold behind me, and I'm like 4-0-9. So Jax has just got an insane gold injection from basically KSing all of those kills, not gonna lie, for the most part. But he is playing pretty well, to be honest, so I'm not too upset about that. Like, he has been getting really good stuns with his E, and he also got that split push off just now, which allowed us to, of course, get a lot of free gold, and he absorbed a lot of pressure, making up for the fact that we are playing 4v5 with Zed AFK. And here he KS's the blue buff as well. Really, really nice. Thumbs up for him. And now we, of course, have our core 3 items completed already. And now we're actually going into going into the Twin Guard. Now here we have to be very careful because Malphite and Lysandra can of course snap engage onto us, and we only have one cleanse, so if like they chain CC us forever, we are still gonna get CC'd and die. In comes the Malphite ulti. I'm gonna cleanse out, start DPSing with my ulti. Mastery tries to dive the battleline again, but he always goes too early, thankfully. Eventually, Aatrox and Tristana are able to focus me down together, and I caught my first death of the game. So now it's kind of up to my team to deal with the rest. The super fat Jax is now going in, gets a 2-man stun, gets a triple onto Lysandra, and unfortunately goes ahead and dies to the Aatrox. Now Aatrox healing is insane. Only guy with anti-heal on my team is Mundo. So if he doesn't attack Mundo, he's fine. Like, he's ignoring Mundo now, so he has no healing debuff. You can see he's just life-stealing off of Seraphine. And now he finally attacks Mundo and gets hit by Bramble. And now he realizes that, oh man, I can't kill Mundo. Look at that anti-heal applied to him. Like they both can't kill each other because Mundo is healing insanely from his ultimate. Aatrox is also healing, despite the fact he has anti-heal. And they both kind of can't kill each other. So Mundo walks away, misses the cleaver onto the skull, and yeah, so now here I respawn. I sold my boots, and I'm actually now getting the armor boots into stasis because the whole enemy team is basically AD except, of course, for Lysandra, so armor boots really handy, and also, of course, stasis will help me buy some time if I need it. And here the dragon is up. Honestly, I don't think we need this dragon at all. We're still even in goal with the enemy team, by the way, despite the fact Zed is AFK, which basically means the goal is on the rest of us. And here, we don't really need this dragon, but we're just kind of looking for a good fight here. Now, Mundo tanks for 1 century. Mundo, Malphite ults again, but his ult is meaningless because no one actually follows up. Mastery runs into way too early again, dies, Tristana dies. And here, I'm thinking I can get Penta here, so here I'm just chasing, and we get a triple, and now we are going for Quadra. I flash away from Aatrox to get some distance. Trying to focus Lysandra. Now, actually here, I should have gone for Lysandra first and then gone for Aatrox, and then I could have actually maybe gone Penta, but I thought Aatrox is the way bigger problem than Lysandra. I mean, let's face the facts. Like, Lysandra is 2-7. Aatrox is 8-4, so it's a lot more pertinent to get rid of the fat Aatrox than to go for Penta and kill Lysandra. So here's Jax does a really good job of tanking tower to ensure our waves survive. And with this wave, we should be able to end the game right here. And yeah, there we have it. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.